The compressor, its components and their function. The label contains all important information for the customer as well as for the dispatch. It concerns data such as the type name, the refrigerant, the mains voltage and frequency, as well as information on how to connect the compressor. The suction connector. It's connected with the refrigerating circuit of the respective appliance. Coming from the evaporator, the refrigerant is sucked in through the suction connector. At this compressor, the process and the discharge connector are on the opposite side. The process connector. It's used for charging the appliance with the refrigerant. This takes place at the appliance's manufacturer when the compressor is already mounted in the appliance. The discharge connector. It is firmly connected with the refrigerating circuit of the appliance in the same way as the suction connector. Through this connector, the compressor discharges the compressed refrigerant to the condenser. The electrical connection of the compressor is visible from the outside. Here, depending on the type, the appropriate starting equipment is installed and provided with a protective cover. The compressor shell. It consists of a punched steel sheet. The cover is welded together with the housing. This connection is hermetically sealed to prevent a leakage of the refrigerant. Inside of the housing, 4 spring holders are installed at the bottom to center the compressor unit in the housing. On the outside, 2 base plates are attached for the assembly of the compressor in the appliance. The motor and the starting equipment. The starter, the rotor and the power cable are the main parts of the motor. The motor is mounted onto springs so that vibrations are not transferred to the compressor shell. This ensures a low noise level during operation. The starter consists of a starter stack which is welded together out of sheet metals and 2 windings of enameled copper wires. A start and a main winding. The windings are protected against the loosening of individual wires to avoid damage. The rotor is an iron core cast in aluminium. A suitable starting unit is installed depending on the compressor type and later application. Here a PTC starting unit is shown on the right and a starting relay on the left. The starting unit is mounted on the current lead-in of the compressor shell. It's the starting unit's task to supply the start winding with power for a short moment in order to enable the starting of the compressor. As soon as this has happened, the motor operates only through the main winding. The starting unit is connected with the current lead-in of the compressor's shell. The power cable ensures a flexible connection to the motor. The piston cylinder unit. It consists of a block on which the discharge tube is mounted. A crankshaft at the bottom of which the oil pump is mounted for the lubrication of the pump unit, as well as a piston with a piston rod connected by a piston pin. This block has 2 discharge chambers. From these chambers, the compressed refrigerant passes through the discharge tube to the discharge connector of the compressor. The turns of the discharge tube increase the flexibility of the tube.